Hi, scientists. It's Miss Rudolph here, and I'm so happy to be spending this time with you today. It is time for science. So let's put our science thinking cap on. Let's make sure our listening ears are on, and let's get going. So really quickly, I want to review all the things we've been learning in science. We have been learning all about what a scientist is and what a scientist does. And we have learned that we have five senses that we can use to make observations about different things. We have learned about different science tools like rulers and tape measures and scales to help us with those observations about things. We have learned about making predictions, which is making a strong guess about a question that we're asking about one of those observations. We've learned about the scientific method, which are all those steps that you take place in order to answer that question that you've asked. We have also recently been practicing how we describe the physical characteristics of an item. What shape is it? What color is it? Is it light or heavy? Is it smooth or bumpy? Different things like that. And then we also practice writing down those observations and things like that. So that way we can remember what our observations were, and then we can also share those observations with others. Well, today we're going to keep moving on, and today we are going to learn about living and non-living things. You should have already watched a video about a great song that will help you hopefully remember different things about living and non-living things. Now I'm going to do a little lesson, and then after this you get to watch one more video and do an activity. So let's get going. Okay, so as you can see here, friends, let me move my little video down here. There we go. As you can see, my friends, I have on this side non-living things, and on this side I have living things. On the non-living side, I have a helicopter, I have a wrench, I have a cassette tape, I have a camera, and I have a radio. These are all non-living things which you're going to learn more about. These are things that cannot grow because they don't eat food and they don't drink water. They do not change. They need someone to move them and work them in order for them to do what they're meant to do. So they are classified as non-living things. On this side, we have some living things, some examples. Some plants, a dog, so animals, different types of birds and bugs and fish. All of these things are considered living things because they can grow. They can change over time. They need food and water in order to get energy to do what they're supposed to do in order to grow and to change. Okay, so we're going to be learning all about that today. All right, friends. The differences between living and non-living things. Let's go to the living thing side. So follow along with me, and you can use your pointer and read with me, okay? Living things are the creatures that are alive and made up of cells. So if you're living, you have cells. They are organized. They sense things and react to things like smell, touch, and light. Let's go to the non-living side. Non-living things refers to objects or items that do not show any type of life, any sign of life. There is no form of organization, and non-living things do not sense things because they can't. They don't move, they don't eat, they don't drink, they don't have energy, nothing. So they just don't do anything. Okay? Let's talk more. Let's go back to the living side. So living things, they need food to get energy so they can move and grow. Just like you're a living thing. So that's why you need some good, healthy food each day so that way you can have energy to play outside and things like that. So that way you can move your body and exercise it. And then you do things like go to school and listen and react to that so you can grow your beautiful brain. Living things are born, they grow, and they die. Movement. Living things move in search of things like food and company. Okay? So if you're living, you automatically go towards certain things like food and company because that's what you need. You need food and things like that in order to stay alive. Let's go to the non-living things side. They do not eat, so they stay the same. They do not grow, so they stay the same. They do not move on their own. If you remember, I mentioned that earlier. Non-living things need somebody to move them in order for them to do what they're supposed to do. So for example, if you have a toy car, it's a non-living thing. If I had my toy car on my table, it would just sit there. The only way it's going to move and change is if I, a living thing, go and take my car and move it. Okay? Go back to the living thing side. They breathe in different ways. Living things reproduce. Put my picture over here a little bit. Means they reproduce, which means they make things that will grow. So for example, humans can reproduce and make more humans. Plants can reproduce and drop seeds and things like that and make more plants, different things like that. Evolution. This means that living things go through the process of adaptation and evolution. That means over time, based on where they're living and the climate they're living in and different things like that, they adapt, they change so that way they can survive in whatever area they're living in. Non-living things, they do not breathe since they do not grow, so no breathing. They do not reproduce, they don't make other things. So for example, a rock cannot make a baby rock. You just can't. You may see rocks all over, but they don't make other rocks. They just can't because they're non-living. And they do not adapt and evolve. They stay where they're at, they stay how they are, and they don't change. All right, friends. So now what you are going to do, now that we have talked about living and non-living things, what you are going to do now is you have one more video to watch to kind of review all of this. And then there's an activity that I would like you to do. You, my friends, have a paper on Seesaw. You can either take a screenshot of it or you can print it out. And what you are going to do is if you print it out, all you're going to do is look around your house and see if you can find 4 living things and 4 non-living things. If you can find those, you'll write them on your paper. You'll take a picture of that paper and post it on Seesaw. If you're taking a screenshot of the example, you take a screenshot, then you upload it, then you can use the Seesaw tools to write. But I know it is harder, and so I am encouraging you to either print it out or write this on your own paper so you get more practice writing and then take a picture of that. But if you want to screenshot it and upload it to Seesaw and use the Seesaw tools, that's fine as well. But it is a little harder to write that way. But to whatever is easiest for you, I hope you enjoyed today's science lesson, learning about living and non-living things. And I can't wait to see what you found at your house that's living and non-living. All right, my beautiful scientists, go watch that video and go do your activity, and I will see you guys later. Bye.